Ed and Lorraine Warren travel to North London to help a single mother raising four children alone in a house plagued by a supernatural spirit. This week we watched The Conjuring 2.
Hello?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Welcome back
Welcome back.
to Horror Legend.
Horror Legend.
Hi. I'm Chris.
And I'm Legend.
Yeah, we didn't say that in the last one.
We did not.
We did not introduce ourselves.
You know us.
Properly, but you know.
You know us. You hate us. You love to hate us.
You love to hate us. Well, this week we watched The Conjuring.
The Conjuring.
The Conjuring 2.
2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Excellent. Paranormal Boogaloo.
Look who's haunting 2. I personally love supernatural horror.
Yes.
It's my favorite. The Conjuring movies are, I just love them.
Are you sure? Because I know from experience you love people torturing other people.
I love torture porn. No, I love the Conjuring franchise in general, mainly because I just love Ed and Lorraine Warren, and I love researching the cases that they did.
Yeah.
Especially since these are based on real cases, most of them
over-exaggerated.
Amalgamations of cases.
Amalgamations.
But I'm super interested in paranormal investigation, so...
Oh, yeah.
For me, like, kind of studying the history behind all the hauntings and things, and then watching the movies is really cool.
Yeah.
Also, we have the last Conjuring movie will be based on this book, which I am currently reading.
Which is called Last Rites.
The movie's Last Rites.
Last Rites.
This is called The Haunted.
Yeah, so there is one in between called The Devil Made Me Do It.
I don't even remember that
which
one.
Which is the third one. We'll do it at some point.
Must not have been.
And yeah, the last Rites. But yeah, we did do The Conjuring 2 this time.
Mm-hmm.
Directed by James Wan.
Yes.
Who, as a horror director, very good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, between Insidious 1 and 2, Conjuring 1 and 2, the first Saw movie.
Oh, he did that too?
Yeah, the same guy who wrote Insidious 1 and 2, Lee Wanell, who also directed the new Invisible Man movie, the new Wolfman movie, and a movie called Upgrade. He wrote the first Saw movie, and James Wan directed. He actually wrote all the Saw movies. James Wan only directed the first one.
Okay.
And they also did a movie called Dead Silence together about ventriloquist dummies and creepy puppets. It was an earlier one.
Okay.
And Malignant, which Malignant is crazy. We have to do that one because I think
we'll be doing it.
Because that one is ultra campy.
Oh, I love it.
It's campy crazy, and there's a whole fight scene in the police station. It's amazing. Yeah, James Wan is a very good horror director. He did take a break for a little bit to do Fast 7 and Aquaman. I don't know why.
He needed the money.
He really just wanted. He said he really needed a break from horror, which I
think he wanted to do an easy movie franchise to make that would get a
big
lot
blockbuster.
Of revenue. Yeah, just so that he could make more movies that he wanted to make.
Which probably. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. But yeah, this is starring, as we know from the first Conjuring, which we did do.
Yes.
You can go back and watch that episode. It actually is before we started filming the episode, so it's just the audio.
Yes, you just got the audio.
So you don't have to look at us.
You don't get to see our faces.
But yeah,
you do see our faces. On the thumbnail.
Just the picture.
On the picture, yeah.
This one's starring Vera Farmiga as Lorraine Warren. Vera Farmiga's been in a lot of stuff. She's a really good actor.
She is. I like her.
I know she got really big because of that Bates Motel TV show they did. That was like a prequel to Psycho where she played Mrs. Bates.
Oh. Okay.
And Patrick Wilson, who is a good actor. He's been in a bunch of stuff. He's also in Insidious 1 and 2 for James Wan, which is cool. Yeah. And he's been in a bunch of other things, but he's a good actor. We got Simon... We got Simon McBurney, who I only mentioned because he was recently in Nosferatu, the remake, as the boss, Nicholas Holt's boss, who goes crazy and is like possessed by the vampire and whatever. But yeah, those are like really the main people. Frances O'Connor, who plays Peggy Hodgson, the mom of the family.
Yeah.
And then Janet is Madison Wolfe. Those are like the main kind of people.
Cannot forget that the nun.
Oh, the nun, yes.
Is also in this.
Yes, Bonnie Aarons. Bonnie Aarons. So
I just think she is a gorgeous, statuesque woman.
Oh, we also have, it's like Javier Botet. He's the one who plays the Crooked Man.
Oh, in the
costume. I don't know who he is either.
Okay.
But I do appreciate people who can characterize those type of characters very well. These two and what's his name?
Doug Jones?
Doug Jones. Doug Jones.
Doug Jones does it a lot more without the use of CGI, which this is very CGI.
Oh, yes. Yeah. But Bonnie Aarons does a very good job.
Oh, she's great.
She's amazing.
Love her.
Just her look. I mean...
And she's funny. She guest judges on Dragula sometimes.
I need to get more into Dragula.
Just watch
it. I'm like, just watch it. You stupid bitch. I don't know. She guest judges on that one.
Oh yeah, she's guest judged a few times on Dragula. Yeah,
I honestly think I have never heard her actual voice.
And Mike Flanagan's been on twice or
two or three times.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch.
I mean, they have great guest judges. Yeah, they're all like the girl from Hereditary is a guest judge a couple of one or two.
Millie Shapiro, the young girl.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I didn't watch her. I know they had Guillermo from Who's What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
I think wasn't he on the same as Trixie Mattel as a guest judge?
Trixie Mattel was a guest judge.
Yeah.
Like they've just had.
I need to watch more of it.
Yeah. I think it was in Alaska or. I think Alaska.
I think Willem's been a guest judge.
Willem, I believe, might have been just simply because
what's crazy.
Willem is not allowed on anything that has to do with drag race.
Yes. So. What's crazy is
but...
there's a game that I play once in a while called Dead by Daylight, and the reason I also wanted to get more into it is because they actually have a challenge now to create something that this will actually put into the game as a skin for one of the characters, and they did. It was for the Huntress character, and I thought it was really cool. I'm like, I need to get more into this. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bonnie Aarons is really good. In the makeup as the nun. Obviously, the nun movies themselves are not the best.
Those are not good.
Because
I like them, but they're not good movies.
No, it's not the same director, and they kind of end up shift. It's just crazy because I watched the trailers and I've seen most of the first one. The cinematography looks beautiful. I will give it that. Like, the way it's filmed is still really pretty. It's the coloring, it's the shots, it's whatever. It's really pretty.
Yeah.
But if like... I mean, like, a movie's not good just because of cinematography, but I will give it that, because some of the trailer of the second one had really cool shots in it, and I was like, this seems cool, but then I heard it was god-awful. Like,
it was awful. Absolutely.
But Bonnie Aarons, and even Thaisa Farmiga, who's Vera Farmiga's sister, who's in it, they're really good.
Yeah.
They need to make these movies better. Like, just because it's a spin-off...
make the movie better.
Well, it's like, just because it's a spin-off of the movie and it's not the same director, doesn't mean you should fast-track it or rush it. Make it better.
See, I think that the Nun ones should have been good, scary movies.
Oh, 100%.
Whereas Annabelle, I'm fine with it being campy as fuck because it's
it's a doll. It's a woman. It's a doll possessed by the demon, and it's a woman getting it's like,
and it's a doll that they made look completely different than the actual doll, like, to a comical degree.
Yeah, because the original is a raggedy or 70s Raggedy Ann doll,
which I think is scarier. We've discussed this before.
Because you said the realism is more scary.
Realism is scarier, honestly. That's the thing about Conjuring movie. Yeah, the Conjuring movies too, the James ones at least. They always distress the houses to make them look like extra creepy and old.
Which, like, I love the
music box they make look creepy and old. But I like the aesthetic.
Aesthetically, it's cool.
But it makes it less scary.
It's a little on the nose.
Yeah, it makes it less scary.
Yeah. and I said to you too, like, if they really wanted to change the Annabelle doll, you didn't have to make it look creepy. Every porcelain doll looks fucking creepy.
Just use a regular
fucking porcelain doll.
Porcelain doll that's marked haunted doll on eBay.
Buy one on Etsy. Buy one on eBay. Like, seriously.
Roz
Hernandez
does it. Well, she doesn't buy them. She just looks at them.
She does it on her podcast where she reads the description.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah,
it's so good. Ghosted.
Well, no, the one that buys them is oh my god, why is my brain just frying out? The girl in town.
I don't know.
The beautiful blonde waif. That runs Moon Goddess Market that we see.
Oh, Alex LeMay.
Alex LeMay.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know why I could not. Sometimes names just completely.
And we've even referenced her in another episode.
People that I see every day, I forget their names. Anyway, she does buy those dolls.
Okay.
The haunted dolls.
She actually buys them.
She collects haunted dolls.
Because I know. Yeah, Roz just reads the description of our podcast and talks about them, and then Alex actually buys them.
She actually purchases them and has a collection, which
That's
I think
amazing.
is really
cool. But
cool.
I'm just saying, just get an older porcelain doll. It doesn't need to be crazy.
Yeah.
You don't need to make it crazy. And I know he might have done it just to be like, that's campy. I mean, it's a little campy.
It's campy.
It's like dragging it up, kind of situation.
He really does.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
It just it takes the realism out of it a little bit.
It really does.
This one is about the Enfield poltergeist in England.
Enfield poltergeist.
The Enfield poltergeist. I will say, tangent, that not all the spin-offs in the Conjuring universe are bad. Annabelle Creation is actually pretty good.
Oh no, I like them.
It's just like, for me, it's just, I don't care if it's a spin-off. These have the potential to be very good horror movies. Just take your time with it and actually get good people to make them.
Yeah.
Because like The Nun, you're literally in, what is it, an abbey is what it's called, in the middle of nowhere, in the mountains of whichever country, I can't remember. It's nuns alone in this abbey, and they're getting attacked by this demon who's disguising itself as a nun to make you to shake your faith and to make you lose your faith, pretty much.
Yeah.
That has the potential to be so good.
Oh, no, totally.
If you really relied on suspense and weird religious mythology and really crazy stuff going on, you really could make that good.
Yeah.
And the reason it wasn't to me, because there were some scenes that looked beautiful, again, looked really pretty. The reason it wasn't to me because I worked at the movie theater when it came out and I would watch it just by standing off to the side in the thing when I was working, is it relied too much on jump scares. The story was not really that well written, and it relied way too heavily on jump scares.
Do you know that's based loosely on a true story? Do you want to hear about it?
Oh, God, I forgot it's based loosely on a true story.
The Nun. Yeah. It's none of your business, though. So, I'm sorry, I can't let you know. I can't.
Oh, no. I'm just wanting you to know that I'm going to be having none of that. Okay, so don't make it a habit. Don't make it a habit, sister.
Anyway, I'm gonna go slit my wrist.
So good. Oh, I love it so much.
Wow. Okay. Let's start with the synopsis. This time I'm using horrorfandom.com.
Shout out.
I'm trying to find a site that has good synopsis for horror movies. This one seems about right, because the wiki ones just leave out so much.
They literally cut into scenes so badly, especially with not even the
pivotal things.
Yeah, not even the little bits. It's really pivotal moments.
Yeah. And then IMDb goes into you might as well read the script. It's so long,
it's so long as hell. Yeah.
Anyway, happy medium, I think. In 1977, the Hodgson family begins to so it's already leaving shit out. This movie starts with the Amityville house.
I need to get into this for just a second. Because this movie opens with so Lorraine Warren was the only medium after the Lutz family fled the house of the Amityville house, claiming it was haunted, writing a book, whatever.
Yeah,
basically marketing off a hoax. To be quite honest,
that is fully a hoax.
Probably a proven hoax. And we're not talking about the Warrens' visit there. Mainly the Lutz family.
Oh no, yeah, the Lutz family. Yeah. The Warrens. She was quite forthright about. She felt nothing in the house.
Yeah, she felt nothing in the house except the fact that
there was
an actual family murder happened,
which leaves behind energy.
The DeFeo family. Yeah, of course. So the DeFeo family, I mean, it was a man who said he was hearing voices, demonic voices telling him to kill his family because they were going to kill him first. They were going to do all this stuff. So he went around the house with a rifle and shot his family in their beds while they slept.
We watched this movie.
We did watch this movie. We actually did watch the Amityville Horror.
We watched the Amityville.
We did watch the Amityville Horror. That is another episode. In fact, actually, I think, was that the first episode we did that was filmed?
Maybe.
One or two of the first episodes.
It was one of the first two.
They recreate this. So cool.
Yeah, they recreate the movie, which is pretty cool.
It's it opens with them doing a seance circle, and then Lorraine has an out-of-body experience as she's trying to figure out what's going on with the house. But you see her go to the rooms, and she's miming the cocking of a rifle and firing and killing these people. And then when you see her in the mirror, she's Ronald DeFeo.
Yeah.
So cool looking the way they did that, and the way they like have like the fast like head movement and jump cuts.
Mm-hmm.
I love when James Wan does jump cuts because it's like it's supposed to look creepy. It doesn't necessarily need to be a jump scare, but it looks creepy. Of her just like it's the way he edits, it makes it kind of look like stop motion, the way he edits them a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's just like fast cut shot dead.
Well, just like the movie.
Yeah.
The movie was very fast cut at the beginning.
It was
badly fast.
That one was badly fast cut. They could have done way better with that. But then as she's killing people, it's like panning to the picture of them on the wall, and then she stops for a moment because she realizes she had taken on this form of this guy for a second. And when she turns, she sees a kid looking around the corner with white eyes. And now this is cool because if you ever look up a photo that was supposedly taken by Mr. Lutz as they were fleeing the house, is you see a child's head looking through a banister with white eyes. Now, he claims there was no children in the house. They had children.
Yeah.
He claims none of them were in the house at the time they took the picture. They were the only ones in the house and they were fleeing, though, so who the hell knows if they were fucking around with it.
I'm inclined to believe that entire
thing is a hoax. Yeah.
And I will defend Lorraine Warren.
Oh, yeah.
Because I fucking love her. She did feel nothing of the nature of supernatural in that house.
No. Obviously, murder is going to leave some behind some type of energy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they recreate that photo, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that photo is probably fake. Most likely
it
fake.
Looks very fake.
But yeah, it's a really cool moment. And then she is led down the stairs by this little boy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the shot he does it in Insidious too, where a character will sweep across the camera walking, and then whenever they pass through the camera again, people will just appear behind them.
Oh, yeah.
In like a row. It's such a cool edit.
Yeah.
I could talk about his editing style forever. Insidious had, like, the first one had amazing editing. It was so cool looking. You need to watch that. You did watch it?
I've seen Insidious. I've seen both of them, I believe. I just don't really remember them too well.
It's like he's in the forgotten place where it's all dark, and he's in their house, and it's like the original family that owned the house in the 50s, and it's like, oh, he sees all of them, and they're smiling, and then they switch the smiles at him.
Maybe I haven't seen Insidious.
Is
it the one... I'm thinking maybe a different movie where it has to do with someone living in a film.
It's not that one.
That's a different one.
That's Sinister.
They all sound the same to me. That's the thing.
Because it's the demon that he keeps watching the films.
Sinister.
Yeah.
What is the other one that we just talked about that we need to watch? That I need to watch too.
Oh, Malignant.
I mean, it's all they blend together.
Sinister is the one where he's watching those old videotapes and he sees all those people dying.
Those I've seen.
Yeah,
I have not seen Insidious.
Insidious is crazy because the scene is like
because I was like, that was not well filmed. What are you? That was kind of a bad movie.
To be honest, like tangent again, but like Sinister is one of those movies that's like the whole movie itself is kind of well made, and then the ending ruins it.
It was bad.
Ruins it.
I thought it was a bad movie.
It was, yeah. But Insidious is cool. So like he does this shot of it, and it's all his family, and they're all just like sitting there smiling, and they're not moving. And then he leaves the room and comes back after he hears a gunshot, and now she's sitting there with a gun, and it's all just like weird tableau frozen, showing what happened. It's so cool. But he does this in the basement, and then they're like, I don't know why they cut this out, because what she sees is like a very important part of the movie.
Yeah,
because she sees the nun.
Yeah.
She sees the nun, and the nun shows her a premonition, which you find out what it is later. Shows her a premonition, and that's what kicks off like everything pretty much. So I don't know why they skipped it, but that opening scene, I could talk about it for a while. I'm not going to, but the opening scene is amazingly filmed.
The opening scene is
so cool,
very well filmed.
I love the angles he uses, the editing, just the way he does, like, and the music. Joseph Bashara does the music, and he did the music for Insidious, but he also plays the red face demon in Insidious because he does the full makeup.
I know what it looks like. Yeah,
so cool. But yeah, the music with the nun is like that. That choir kind of like whatever, and that's her like kind of theme music because they use it for everything that she's in with the nun. It's opening scene's really good. That was a long description of it, but the opening scene is very good. I love it so much.
Well, this synopsis skipped over the opening scene, and in 1977, they must have not thought it was that great. I don't know.
That's amazing.
No, it was amazing. In 1977, the Hodgson family begins to experience strange occurrences in their home in the London suburb of Enfield. Janet. Janet.
Damn it, Janet.
I know every time I see Janet, I think of Rocky Horror. Janet.
How could you not?
Janet.
Who's named Janet?
Brad. Rocky.
Janet.
Brad. Janet, the second oldest of 4 children, is seen sleepwalking and conversing in her dreams with an entity in the form of an angry elderly man.
Wow, that kind of skipped.
This skipped so much.
That
you know
skips
what?
so much.
Perhaps this is not the synopsis we're looking for.
Because she, it's literally, it starts off, with them in school, it's showing London and stuff like that, which you don't need to do all that.
Here we go. In 1976, paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren investigate the Amityville murders. We did that part. Okay.
Oh my God, I mentioned it.
Yeah. 1 year later, the Hodgson family begins to experience strange occurrences in their home in London, in the London borough of Enfield. After Janet, the second oldest of 4 children, plays with a Ouija board. Oh no, a Ouija board.
Yeah, they're in government housing. They show you that because it's really to show that the family is not
council estates.
Council estates, not well off. It's kind of a poor family, and it's a single mother with her 4 kids.
Yeah.
You the dad left. You can hear her on the phone say he hasn't paid child support in however long. You find out later it's because he cheated on her, but it's a whole situation. Which is a funny moment between her and Ed later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's supposed to show them just not being a well-off family, and honestly, the council did a lot better with those houses than they do here.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I suppose a country as old
as England
that is has learned over the years to not fully dehumanize people. Because they did go through periods of the poor being in a very bad state.
Oh, 100%.
So
100%.
Yeah. But the council estates that you see usually in not the ones that are apartments, because those look scary. But which
I think we see those in Kingsman, those apartment ones.
Yeah, they're just tall apartments that look just very generic.
Don't they call them the Block? Or some of them called Block House. there was a movie called The Block that's a monster movie that takes place in a whole
okay.
thing. It's really
I guess
good.
it is.
That's actually the first thing I ever saw John Boyega in, who was in the new Star Wars movies, the Black Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
He's very good. That movie's amazing. We should watch that sometime.
Okay.
It's so good. Attack the Block. Very good.
Yeah. Anyway, the council estates, they usually look nice on the outside, but it's they look like the same house over.
Right. It's cookie cutter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
just English cookie cutter.
English cookie cutter.
Not.
Which means they're made of brick and.
Yeah, and not stucco and shit.
Yeah. Janet sleepwalks. Wait, see, this goes right back into this. And converses with the entity of an angry elderly man.
When they say sleepwalk, she literally the first night after they use the Ouija board and stuff, and she I think, I don't know, she's really trying to just contact somebody and just whatever. But it's a homemade Ouija board. That's how poor those families. They can't even afford a normal Ouija board.
Yeah, they made
they made a Ouija board that looks like a serial killer's note with the different cutout letters and the whatever. But she gets literally transported from her bed to the living room on the floor in front of the big armchair in the corner.
Yeah.
And you hear the noise and it just transitions to her being there.
Yeah.
So it's and she thinks she's sleepwalking.
Yeah.
Put that up. She thinks I've been sleepwalking.
Before that happens, though, she's talking in the bed to the guy.
Yes. Oh, yeah. She's her sister wakes up to her looking in the corner.
Yeah.
And she's leave us alone. And you hear her say, no, this is my house. So it's she's back and forth in her own body talking to this thing.
Yeah.
The creepiest part to me would be she puts her back to bed and her sister gets back in bed and all of a sudden she's just standing there again talking and yelling at the corner behind you, which is weird.
Yeah.
But just to be what are you doing? There's nobody here. And then all of a sudden to hear a voice behind you say, this is my house. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
That is a dark-ass corner.
Yeah.
You've got posters of people's faces back there, and you can't really see it in the dark, so it just looks like there's a person back there until she turns on the light. And then I just love when she goes to turn off the light, and then she stops, and she's no, I'm just going to leave it on. I'm yeah, I would just leave that on. I know the power bill's probably whatever, but I just leave
But
that.
when she is in the living room, there is like an old man in the chair that
You're supposed to be, old man in the chair.
Says something like "Get out, or it's my house."
Oh yeah, it's after she does it the second time.
Yeah, it's the second time.
She's like heating up. She's like getting a fever, so her mom keeps her home.
Yeah,
and she keeps she's trying to watch something on TV. It's like a comedy show.
Yeah,
and the TV keeps switching over to Margaret Thatcher's speech.
Margaret Thatcher,
where she's talking about how she's the Iron Lady of the whatever. And she keeps switching it, and then the remote disappears and switches, and she realizes it's back in the chair. It's sitting in the chair. And then all of a sudden the TV turns off and she sees a person there in the TV screen behind her, which is really cool because when she turns around, there's nobody there and the remote's floating and then it just drops.
Yeah.
That's such a cool shot.
That's good.
Yeah.
A lot of good shots in this.
A lot of good shots.
Yeah.
Have you had any good shots? Like
when the media attempts to interview the family, I don't know why it jumped to that. See, this is why I hate Wikipedia.
Yeah, because first it's the police officers are called after. Well, they what experience they have the guy yells in the tent, so they have that experience, and she goes downstairs and finds her in the chair. That's when the whole fever thing starts.
Well, yeah, first the kids see things and hear things.
Yeah.
You know, that's where it was starting. And then finally, there's a point where the kid sees someone in the tent at night. He's freaking out, and she's just like, whatever, you kids are pissing me off. And dresser flies across the room. And then that's when she's like, oh, shit. So she calls the police. The police come, and this is a documented thing that the police evidently saw was a chair just move across the room.
And they show it in this, she's like, here's knocking in the walls, and she's like knocking back, and then when she gets off the chair, it just decides to slide itself back to the kitchen.
Yeah.
And there is an actual interview with those actual police officers talking about how they saw things moving in the house.
Yeah.
And this is after they, you said the dresser hits the door, and they run to the neighbor's house, and the neighbor calls the police. She's like, what, why are they here? He's like, I called the police just in case. He's like, I searched the house, but like, you never fucking know.
My favorite thing is, after that happens, the police are, they run outside basically with the the lady and everyone. And she's like, the cops are basically like, well, we can't do anything about this.
I know. And it's like, it's honestly...
You're going to have to contact the church.
Yeah. It's honestly like, you feel bad, but it's true. Like, what is a police officer supposed to do about a ghost?
They can't do anything, yeah.
So the other, like, she's like, I think this is a bit beyond us.
Yeah.
You're going to want to contact the church. She's like, I have a priest who's a friend of my family.
Yeah.
I can have him contact you.
Yeah.
And then the media shows up after that. I forgot what the show's called, but he tells her, like, if you want any help with this, it would be like, you need to tell your side of the story.
Yeah.
And he seems, which is nice, he seems genuinely wanting to help instead of like normal media shit, which is just to get raised. So he seems like he genuinely wants to do like a story on it and help out.
Yeah. Janet is possessed by the elderly man when the media shows up. While they're just having a normal interview, the kid starts talking,
speaking in his
different
voice. Yeah.
Although, for the movie, they made it very much like not her voice at all.
Very different voice.
In actuality, it was, it sounded like it shouldn't be coming from a kid, but kind of.
Yeah.
It was obviously still coming from her in a way.
They do play the actual recording in the credits at the end of the movie. And they obviously show the actors versus the real people and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the actual recording is a little more realistic than what they did in the movie, where they played up the guy's deep, like, voice so crazy. Yeah. But yeah, they did that well. Of course, you still have like, I don't think they mentioned the fact that the Warrens would go on a TV show before this either.
No.
And I think this happened a lot with.
Maybe I'll go with the IMDb one and just kind of skip around, because that actually is so thorough that it's ridiculous.
Because I think this happened a lot with the Warrens. They ended up going on TV shows and stuff, and of course they would always bring on a skeptic, and like they would like kind of go after them a little bit. And he was going after them about the Amityville horror, well, in the Amityville house, and how it was a hoax and all this stuff and whatever. And he's like, Ed's fighting with him and everything, but it brings back in the fact that like person doing the interview and the person who's helping isn't just the media. It's this guy Morris Gross, who's a real person who went to help them. And then there was a woman who was a scientist. I forget what she did exactly, but she was a full-on skeptic of like they're kids. They pull pranks. They do this. Like it's like this is ridiculous. This whole thing's a hoax. And so of course it kind of pulls in that situation with dealing with skeptics and things like that later on.
Yeah.
Um,
Let me tell you, the IMDb one, so fucking thorough. Like every single thing that we ended up putting in is in this.
of course it is.
Yeah, now I have to like figure out where we're at. But anyway, oh yeah, we're back at the Warrens' house. Ed paints a picture of something he sees in his dreams.
It's the nun,
and it's the nun, the same one from Lorraine's vision.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, later she's sitting in the living room with her daughter Judy. There's a noise in the hallway. Judy goes out to look. Lorraine kind of starts going into this trance where she's just like gouging out pages in her Bible with a pen.
But this is after she goes into the office. That's after she goes into the office. Because she sees the thing, has the experience, and then she starts.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
This scene is one.
Sorry, it's I was editorializing myself. This is yeah. Okay. So Judy goes, I'm just trying to make this a little shorter because this is very long.
Yeah, the IMDb synopsis go crazy.
Too long. Lorraine follows to the office. She thinks she sees the nun in the darkness, but it's just the painting. The demon is still in the room and walks up to the painting and makes it come to life. Little hands coming out. And it growls as it runs toward Lorraine, causing her to see the same vision as before. Although this time we see Ed dying on a spike saying, I'm sorry, Lorraine. So.
Oh, yeah.
Anything to add? No.
I will say the office scene in this where she, like, you see the nun at the end of the hallway, then it goes into the office and she goes into the office with it. One of the best scenes in the whole Conjuring series. It's really
pretty good.
It's really cool.
I'm gonna say it was not my favorite, but no, I really will. It wasn't. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I find everything with the nun.
We can't agree on everything.
I find everything with the nun to be kind of cheesy. So of course. I didn't think it was as good of a scene as like some other ones. Honestly, I wasn't that. I didn't like that scene that much, which is weird. No, because I remember specifically watching it and being like, but I do get what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's just to me it's not like just the nun itself. It's the way the way the scene plays out.
Yeah.
Where it's one part of it specifically, like the whole like her walking as a shadow to the painting is cheesy and like all that stuff. There's one shot specifically, and it's where the light goes off again, and the nun's picture's in the darkness.
Yeah,
and it cuts to her, but when it cuts back, the eyes have very obviously changed.
Yeah,
and they look real, and they look like it's staring at her, and she's getting closer to it, and it's so nerve-wracking for a second, because it's like, is it going to jump out? Is there something actually there? Is it just the painting? Because their eyes visibly change, and it's really creepy. like
that is.
And to me, that's one of the scariest parts of the nun is that scene right there, where it's just the eyes changing.
Yeah,
is creepy as fuck. The part where she comes, because one of the paintings in the room is of the Conjuring house from the first one.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of what I read about the Warrens is that like Ed would like. How they would get in is she would have a feeling about a house. Ed would paint the house, and then they would use that as a way to get into people's homes. It was one of the books described that as that.
Okay.
And so yeah, he's got a painting of it. She comes out from behind the painting as a shadow, and then goes behind her painting to show her face, and like that's like cheesy. It's just the part where her eyes change is just so effective. It's so effective.
That is good. Like, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
She kind of snaps out of it, but then she noticed she was scribbling in her Bible, like just
scratching the shit out of her Bible.
And she was writing letters in her Bible, which we'll get to later. But
we won't get to the fact that you see these letters a bunch
those
of
letters
places.
show up a million times. Yeah. And like they stand out because I was like, what does that mean? Like I saw the name like a million times.
Yeah.
I was like, what does it mean?
And I only knew about one instance. I didn't realize earlier in the movie that they actually do more.
Lot. Yeah, there's a lot of it. The people of Enfield become aware of the Hodgson's haunting. Paranormal investigators get involved, including Maurice Gross and Anita Gregory. The latter claiming there's a lack of evidence. So she's kind of the skeptic.
She's the skeptic one. Yeah.
Maurice and the news gather the Hodgson home to interview Janet and Margaret. This is where we kind of skipped to this
one
where she has the interview and she starts going into the voice.
Yes.
At the Nottingham home, which is across the street, the children sleep in the living room. Billy walks through the house and encounters a creature that takes the form of the Crooked Man, reciting a nursery rhyme monstrously and chasing Billy.
It was the Crooked Man who walked a crooked mile, whatever. He changes it though to like, crooked this to a crooked hell and killed this crooked family and whatever, and it gets like crazy.
Yeah.
But the creepy part of that scene is like, one, they have a Rottweiler, which is adorable, but also Rottweilers are crazy. Super cute dogs though. But I just love that it learned how to ring the bell to go outside. They're like, oh yeah, we taught it to ring the bell.
Yeah.
So it's like doing that in the middle of the night. So the kid goes and let it out because he got to do it the first time. So got to do it again. It's the creepy part of that is watching the dog burst outward and slowly turn into the Crooked Man. And again, the way he walks and moves, even later on in the movie, it's very much like they filmed it almost stop motion because you see it jump a bunch and crazy shit. Like it's he looks really cool. It's just really cheesy.
It is. Yeah. That's the part of the movie I don't care for. It's
a really cool character design because I could see him being in another movie of something where
different movie.
Right? Like a fantasy movie almost.
To me, that character didn't belong in the movie. Even though I don't know if it was a part of the actual case or not.
Actually don't even.
I don't know. I have a feeling it wasn't, and I feel like if they just added it in, it just didn't belong. I don't think it belonged, but anyway. He does run after it to tell his mom the others. Janet emerges with the creepy voice again, saying the rhyme, and then she lets out a horrifying sound that shatters all the glass in the room. She passes out and starts foaming at the mouth.
It's not even.
I know how that
shattering the glass in the room. Like she throws that fireplace cover thing across the fucking room.
Yeah.
Like,
just like
that thing gets insanely fast, crazy.
Yeah,
going after people. Oh my god! Like the Conjuring. Like Bathsheba's ghost in the Conjuring was out to kill maybe a couple people. This one's like, I'm just gonna fuck with everybody.
This particular case has a lot of witnesses.
Yes.
Not as many as, which I'm so excited for.
The last one.
Because this case has like a total of 28 or 38, I think 28 witnesses to this.
Oh my god.
Like all of the neighbors, it's interesting. Anyway. And evidently this thing kind of like goes to different people's houses in the neighborhood as well. It's not confined to this one house.
Yeah.
Or this duplex. It's a duplex where their parents live on the other side. Their parents have a bunch of things too, and it's cool. It's cool. I actually looked up like the neighborhood just to look at it, and I've never had a bad feeling from looking at a picture of a house, but I did
until now.
Until that one, because I looked at it and I was like, that the house isn't right. I don't know. It just did not feel right.
I might need to borrow this one too, because I borrowed the one about the hunting in Connecticut.
Yeah, which is a much better story than the movie that was made out of.
But even the story, even that one story was still like insane.
Yeah,
so much sexual assault that goes.
Yeah. So a priest goes to Ed and Lorraine Warren to convince them to take on this case by playing a recording.
Yeah, it's actually the priest from the first movie.
Yeah.
That actor is also in Insidious as a medium, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
But yeah, it's priest from the first movie who helps them with that case a little bit, and then he's the one that tells them about the Amityville the Amityville house, and then
I like the intonation.
Amityville, that house, and then he also he tries to get them involved in this, and this is after Lorraine's like, we need to stop doing this because I saw your death.
Yeah,
if we keep doing this, you're gonna die. Yeah. All this stuff, and he's like, is that why you locked yourself in your room for 8 days? Like, it's like I'm gonna die at some point. Like, he's just like it's like a whole like.
What if she's like, no, that wasn't why. You don't want to.
You don't want to know why. But yeah, it's he uses the recording they got to try to convince them of her changing voices and all
saying,
that.
Like, this is an 11-year-old girl, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
The Warrens arrive in Enfield and meet the Hodgsons. Peggy shows Ed the bedroom that's trashed now with all the crosses on the walls, and they lock the room with a chain. because they don't want people going in that room.
I just realized this, and I may be dumb for realizing this, that their neighbor's name is also Peggy, because they're both Peggy.
That's funny. I didn't notice that.
Because she's Peggy Hodgson, and I think the other one is Peggy Nottingham, because she says, like, I don't know, Peggy, and she's like, I don't know, Peggy. Like,
That's
I swear that I'd have
funny.
to look into it, but I swear to God, they're both named Peggy. Yeah, Peggy Nottingham and Peggy Hodgson.
Wow. Okay.
The Peggies.
So the Warrens gather, the investigators and the family in the room to try to communicate with the spirit. At first, the girl says, like, oh, he doesn't want to talk to you because you're looking at me.
Yeah.
So that they all turn away from her. She does have water in her mouth, so that was like a control, so that the voice wasn't necessarily coming from her. But since they turned around, it might be she might have just like been thinking. But anyway. So the voice starts coming out. This is cool.
This is a very cool edit.
Is because when the old man starts talking, the girl is out of focus. Ed is in focus in the front, and it just starts getting the light goes out in the back, so it's darker too and out of focus. And then you see like kind of like the foggy ghost of the old man talking behind him, which is pretty cool. I like that.
Oh yeah, you see her turn into him.
Yeah.
And then switch back.
Yeah.
And it's so weird.
Yeah.
Because also him being out of focus, you can't fully see what he looks like, so he looks otherworldly creepy.
Almost cartoonish.
Because the shape of his head, because of the out of focus stuff and everything, it's really creepy.
Yeah. The Warrens talk to the investigators, the evidence they have. Anita is still a skeptic. She thinks Janet's playing some kind of game. And Ed also kind of has some doubts about it as well.
Yeah.
And even Lorraine, because she is not feeling anything in the house.
Yeah. So before this too, I just love the scene. Like it's a good scene between Ed and Peggy, and then there's the good scene between Lorraine and Margaret. When they're out on the swings and they're talking about stuff, and she's like, I was bullied for being different.
Oh, yeah.
I know what it's like. I had these things. My mom didn't believe me that I see these things.
This was on here. I skipped over it because it seemed like there's so much on here.
Oh, I just wanted to mention it.
Yeah.
I literally like a light mention of it just because like it's a really good moment between them and talking, and then you have a really good moment between the mom and Ed whenever she's like, he's like, is your husband in the picture? No. Like, he's like, is there any reconciliation? And she's like, he had twins with a woman down the street around the corner. And he's like, so I'm going to say no.
I'm going to take this a no.
It's a good mention because James Wan, especially with the Conjuring movies and stuff, is really good with these, like, moments of levity, but moments of, like, character development and, like, knowing these people and, like, moments of, like, heartfelt moments between people, which, like, really, I think, brings home the whole fighting against evil type of situation and, like, doing all that stuff. They're nice moments to have in these movies.
Yeah. There's some levity because, like, right after this, the kid gets trapped in the room.
Oh, God.
So she just kind of wakes up in that room with the crosses that is chained shut.
Yeah.
And gets attacked by the old man spirit. And then the mom's trying to get in. She sees the demonic face. And she's like, someone's in there. So they rescue her. She's just basically wallowing around on the floor with holding the
drapes
over her,
like she's being choked,
like she's doing it to herself. There's a lot of things.
It reminded me of
what?
Have you ever seen any edit of one of those like Indian?
The Bollywood one. The very famous the just TikTok one where she's like she
slaps her and she spins around and then all of a sudden the curtain wraps around her neck and she's getting choked out. Like, so good. The cuts of those things with the constant basically PowerPoint presentation transitions. Anyway, it reminded me of that a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can tell the other kids are sleeping with the neighbors and it's literally just them in the house because they can't bring her. She can't go anywhere because it's following her around, which makes sense. But yeah, Ed and Lorraine Warren get there a little late after coming out of the room, so they don't see the guy.
Yeah.
So whenever they're challenged on it, they can't really say
because it looked like she was doing it to herself.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how the whole thing goes. It's like it really does present the information that actually happened, the things that actually happened, and what they witnessed. In that it almost looked like the kid was faking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like when you're going through the story, you can tell really what it is the demon gaslighting everybody.
Yeah.
And making it seem like the girl's faking everything. Where it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do water in my mouth, but you're gonna have to turn around so you can talk to me so that I can your story's not gonna be credible and shit. Like you can tell it's a demon gaslighting these fucking people. Which isn't that the case.
So Peggy, I identify with Peggy a lot here because her basement is flooded.
Holy shit! The basement is flooded. You see that at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, her basement is flooded. In a nasty way.
It's so bad.
Yeah,
it's so bad. I'm surprised the house hasn't either sunk or fallen apart because the foundation is just filled with water.
It's just full of water. But Peggy thinks she sees someone
just like me.
Ed goes down there to fix her.
Yeah, he does. I'm sorry.
He's going downstairs to fix her flooded basement. He's really inspecting like the washing machine or something.
He's checking the pipes of the washing machine.
Yeah,
and then he realizes it's not coming from that pipe. It's actually the pipe down in the water.
So
it's like
go in the water.
Yeah.
She sees someone coming up behind him, and
it slowly comes out of the water. Yeah, and starts walking towards him.
But then it pops up below her and grabs her and pulls her down under.
And then bites her.
Just
like the daughter gets bitten.
With dentures, too.
Yeah, well,
which they find in the water.
They find the dentures in the water after they fall into the water. But yeah, he's missing 2 teeth.
Yeah, he's missing.
Bill Wilkins.
They find. I don't know if they're like a bridge.
It's a bridge
with 2 teeth on it. Yeah.
And yeah, they say like, oh yeah, those bite marks, like it looks like somebody actually did bite her, and it's missing 2 teeth. Which, if you have full teeth, it's really hard to fake having not full teeth if you're biting somebody.
Yeah. There is a little heartwarming moment again where he plays Elvis on a guitar, and Warren plays Elvis on a guitar.
He did. He actually sung that himself too.
Can't help falling in love with you.
Yes. Well, it's because she mentions earlier with that conversation with him that it's another joke where she's like, he took all the music from the house.
He took the music.
And he's like, you know, I can feel like that. And she's like, no, he literally took all of the fucking music. Like,
he took the records.
He took the records. And they loved his Elvis collection. So then he ends up taking the kids to go get Elvis records. And then the record player just doesn't work because, you know, the demon's an asshole, doesn't like music. So he breaks out the guitar, which was their dad's, given to his daughter. And then, sings Elvis. I can't help falling in love with you, which again is it's a nice moment.
Yeah,
it's a good moment.
Cute little moment.
They're like, it's like these moments are cheesy, but they're really good.
Yeah,
for like development and these types of stories to have those moments of levity and like those moments of creating chemistry between characters.
Yeah,
especially between Ed and Lorraine, and you can see that moment between them.
Yeah. On another night,
whatever.
Anyway. There's another night where the kids hear noises coming from the kitchen, and Johnny decides to investigate one of the other kids, the older boy, which is like not really in the movie until now. He goes to investigate. Margaret then screams as Janet disappears. She pops up in the kitchen with the knife.
Yeah.
She's like just kind of crouching to like attack.
She's like crouching, standing on the thing, holding the knife. And then of course, like screams, they all run in, and she's throwing shit across the room, or things are getting thrown across the room. Door slamming.
But what happened was the skeptic woman was outside filming,
watching the cameras
from the outside, and saw that the girl was throwing everything around herself and destroying the kitchen. They found like a bent spoon too, and she did that.
Herself. So that was it's a whole thing, which again probably shows something they caught on camera that happened. I don't know.
No, I think they did catch her doing this.
Yeah.
So they did catch the kid like faking an incident.
Yeah.
So she basically takes it to the Warrens and says like, it's fake. We can all leave now.
which sucks because like even though they believe them, if the church sees that footage, they're going to be like, no, this is a hoax. We don't want anything to do with it because our reputation is whatever.
Exactly.
We're Catholic. We can't have a bad reputation.
Well, it was about the Warrens' reputation too. They said so. I mean, it's like they can't. go after like an obvious hoax that's just right there.
Yeah, or anything that even like smells like a hoax, or anything that even looks slightly like a hoax. Like
exactly. They get on a train. They're gonna go home, but Lorraine continues to express uncertainty. And then suddenly Ed has a breakthrough about like the tape recorder.
The tapes fall out and the tapes cross each other.
Yeah.
And he is sitting there thinking and realizing that she was speaking in incomplete sentences.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's try playing these together.
So they had to play both of them at the same time.
I mean, can you imagine? Can you set these up and you have to like wind it?
Well, that's the thing, is like syncing that up that quickly. I don't know.
Well, they were like, I know she was like, catch him before you leave. So I was like, is he not gone already? It's taking you like 35 minutes to do this.
Yeah.
Catch him before the car leaves. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's in the parking lot by now.
So they realize basically that Bill, who's the old man spirit, is just a pawn for a demonic entity.
Yeah, Lorraine gets hit pretty hard with that revelation when she like smacks her head on the back of the seat. And she's like, but yeah, it's like sad. It's like this old man who died in the house of a hemorrhage in the chair in the corner, and as a ghost, he just came back to possibly visit his family and realized they were gone, and he just wanted to leave, but this thing is using him as a conduit and wouldn't let him leave.
Because the recording said, he won't let me leave or something.
Please help me. He won't let me go.
Yeah,
whatever. But it was like, help won't let go. And it was like in pieces, and then they put it together with the two. And it was a way for him to finally get a message out to them that he's not really trying to do this. It doesn't want to do this.
Yeah.
This thing's making him do this shit.
And he was speaking in a riddle to her. The riddle made her realize that what she needs to do is know the demon's name to have power.
Yeah, it's like I'm given to you at birth. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You didn't choose me.
You didn't choose me. I'm given to you. I follow you through your life.
I follow through your life.
It's the name.
It's your name. But I'll be with you until you die.
So she has to sit here and think like, well, what's his name? And then when we as the viewer have seen it the entire time over and over again, and we know. Yeah. But then she realizes that was the name that she was gouging into her Bible.
Yeah, she gets out her Bible, and it's Valak, which is Valak. And you see, so when you see in other places, like when they're having, I think, breakfast in the morning, you see it written somewhere behind Patrick Wilson on the wall or whatever.
Well, there's so many instances I saw.
Yeah.
There's one where it's like these little like their kid made like these little homemade things. Yeah. And they have letters on the wall, and it spells Valak. And then there's also lettering on the wall that's Alec without the V. Yeah. Like the V fell off because there's like room for where the V would be. Yeah. And then on the bookshelf, they have the VALAK. Spell it out. And then when the girl, her daughter's making bracelets with those words on them, or with the letters, it says Valak. Yeah. So it's everywhere in the movie. But. Yeah.
And I will say, I mean, I looked it up. I mean,
oh yeah, I was wondering. Yeah, I follow you looking that up.
It said, Valak appears as a two-headed. It's a little. In Grimoire's, Valak is depicted as a child with angel wings riding a two-headed dragon, which differs from the demonic nun representation, obviously, but apparently is not mentioned in the Bible. The name Valak, or variations like Valak or Valu, appears in demonic grimoires, such as the Lesser Key of Solomon, as a powerful demon associated with finding treasures and serpents. It is not a biblical figure and is primarily known for its depiction as the demonic nun in The Conjuring 2. But yeah, it's in grimoires. It is not in the Bible. So books of magic and occult lore.
Most of these demon names are from Hermetic texts that are grimoires that are like the Golden Dawn and like various other ones. Like it's most of these demon names come from those. Yeah, it's people who have contacted them and found out their names and put them in these grimoires with their sigils and all of that.
Which I mean, she does mention.
I've read a couple of those.
Yeah, she does mention when she's when she finally confronts it. She does mention, the Defiler, the Marquis of Snakes, because it's like serpents and all that stuff. So makes sense. They at least got that part correct. Yeah. It's just never mentioned in the Bible. Valak's never mentioned in the Bible.
Most of them are.
No. The scene I love, I think it's either before or after this. when Patrick Wilson gets hit in the face with steam, like hot steam.
We're getting to that.
Okay, cool. I don't know if it's talking about.
I'm like, oh, we're getting to that.
Okay, cool.
I have some things to talk about in this next following part as well. But anyway, the Warrens return to find the family locked outside the house in the pouring rain. Ed tries to break in through the back. Lightning strikes the tree in front of the house, leaving a sharpened stem that Lorraine recognizes as the thing that kills Ed in her vision. She tries to figure out the demon's name before realizing she already does know it. It's in her Bible. She rushes into the house to go after Ed. I love this because she starts like screaming, "What is your name?" Like screaming, and then
you know what it gives? I don't know if it's I Know What You Did Last Summer when she's like, "What are you waiting for?"
Yeah, it was very
What are you waiting for?
And then you see her like crawling into like through this tiny hole and like
it's like acting it
and it's just so funny because like all I can think of is the actual Lorraine Warren doing this.
Oh my god.
And I know that she didn't.
She did not do this.
It's just so funny. Like, I'm just picturing this sweet little old woman doing this stuff.
Crawling through this axed up door through a flooded basement. Yeah.
Hilarious. That was my 2 cents on this, is just thinking about her actually doing this.
Doing it.
Ed Warren, I could see him doing all this.
Oh,
stuff,
yeah, 100%.
But not her.
I mean, he gets hit in the face with steam, and basically his vision goes crazy because, I mean, it's hot steam. I mean, he burns his face.
Yeah.
The craziest part of this section, which is fun and campy and crazy, is him finding the tent.
Uh-huh.
Well, first of all, the TV starts playing the actual choir singing the song that they played in The Office on the tape recorder in the office scene.
When you said that, I thought of like The Office.
No.
The show. I'm like, what?
Not the show. But is when he finds the tent and the Crooked Man thing starts. And then what I love about when the Crooked Man shows up is it plays the Crooked Man's toy and then you see him disappear out of it, which is really cool.
Which they did that one other time.
They do it twice.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And then he looks up and the Crooked Man is there in his face and he smiles at him and then he backs away. It's the part where he stands up, slams into the closet, goes through the entire ceiling of the house and then pops out of a armoire in the kid's bedroom.
Yeah.
And he has to close the door and the umbrella comes through the door.
Yeah.
Crazy. And to even think that would actually be based off a real thing that happened is fucking psychotic. Because if somebody actually saw something like that, that's psychotic. Like that's insane. But that part, it's just a cool scene, but it's very campy.
Oh yeah.
Totally. Having him like slam out of the closet, fly through the ceiling, and then pop out of an armoire, and he's like, "Ha ha!" with his umbrella. I mean, he looks like a crazy Lewis Carroll character.
he looks like Jack Skellington.
He looks like Jack Skellington. Yeah. And the crooked umbrella, it's very Tim Burton.
That character doesn't belong in the movie.
No, and they were supposed to, I don't know if they're still doing it, but they're supposed to make separate Crooked Man movies.
Oh.
Like they did with the Nun
that's why they
and the Annabelle.
That's why they put him in there.
Yeah.
Now I see.
Now the Conjuring universe is supposed to be...
I mean,
he's a cool character for this movie. I don't really think he needs a spin-off, to be quite honest.
No.
But it is a cool concept for a character, so maybe it could be good as long as you can get people to do it, but I know it's not going to be.
No.
It's not going to be.
Yeah, no. The Crooked Man... Well, okay, we went over this.
Yeah.
Ed is partially blinded. Blah, 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 blah. Janet is standing in front of the broken out window at the front of the house, wherein the giant spike of the tree is like below.
Oh, by the way, I think I said Margaret earlier when I meant to say Janet.
That's fine.
That's Janet.
No one's paying attention.
Damn it, Janet.
Ed rushes out to grab her, and then he starts falling as well. So he's holding onto the curtain.
Curtain is falling, and the things below, and it's...
Lorraine finally makes it there, and the nun is there, and she's like, "No, you're not going to get to him." And she, like, blows her back against the wall, and then she, finally, after he's almost going to fall already, she's finally like, "I know your name, and I'm going to say it now."
I know your name.
Now. So she does that. Valak goes back to hell. Her face just turns into a demon.
Just like slowly dissolves into whatever.
And Lorraine runs and saves Ed and Janet in the nick of time, because Lorraine Warren definitely looks strong enough to pull two people out of a window.
Her husband and a small child.
Because her husband was a lot bigger than this guy.
Oh, yeah.
He was a big guy.
He was a big guy. Yeah.
Everyone's great.
Yeah.
The end. No. They all live happily ever. No. In the morning, everything has calmed down. Peggy and Janet thank the Warrens for helping them. A brief, the text, follows on the screen.
Yeah.
That states the Enfield haunting became one of the most notorious cases in history. Peggy Hodgson continues living in the house for 40 years until she died in the same chair as Bill.
Which I wonder, I don't know if that's actually true.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't see why they would lie about that.
Only...
After all the other shit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why they would lie about that.
I'm pretty sure the only reason this was like the most whatever is because it just became a media circus.
It did. And having like police corroborate a story.
Police corroborate. It's like, I'm sure small things happen, but when you see some of those pictures, it's like clearly this is fake.
Oh, see, I was gonna get to that shit. They do recreate some of the actual pictures that were taken as evidence in this case.
Yeah.
And the pictures are clearly bad. I mean,
Ed points it out probably while they're there, but in the movie, he's like, based on how straight her back is and the bending of her knees, it looks like she's just jumping into the air, not being levitated.
Yeah, and I feel like I almost wish we could can we put these up in the middle of a song?
I could try to, yeah.
Okay, because I could show them on here, but it just isn't gonna work. Like, that's not gonna work.
Well, it's right next to the bed, so obviously she was jumping off the bed.
It's so obvious that she's jumping off of the bed, and they took a picture mid jump.
Yeah,
like it's so painfully obvious. And there's even there was a separate picture of the mom levitating or something, and it's the same. Like, no. Yeah, they keep doing these pictures of like the kids levitating, different ones, and it's just the kids jumping off of the bed.
It's so literally funny. Just the kids jumping off the bed.
This whole case is strange, because like normally I'm like, oh, clearly, like Amityville, clearly a hoax. But like one like this, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
lots of elements of it are obviously not real, like those pictures. But who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
But as
I could see maybe the cops did see a chair move. I could see small things happening, but I think even the real Lorraine Warren, like for this case, even said like, I don't feel anything.
Well, she felt nothing.
She felt nothing.
Yeah. And I want to know like her full, because I feel like they just went off the rails on this maybe, and like the actual case was her just saying there's nothing.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And then they just dramatized it for the movie.
Okay.
Which like you can based on the other things of evidence of like chair moving and things like that, and then like things that they claim. So you can just make a story out of that.
Exactly.
Which technically is what they're authored for their books. A lot of the time.
Most of the authors for their books made up a lot of shit. I will say this one is written a bit more documentary style with interviews and things like that, which I always like when they just go straight into interviews. There are a couple of these where it's the other one that's interviews is the werewolf one, which I don't even. No.
The werewolf one was also in England.
The werewolf one is in England, and it's also just a guy who thought he was a wolf.
Turning into a werewolf.
It wasn't, yeah.
One thing we didn't mention about the end is they end up putting the Crooked Man music box into their occult museum next to the music box from The Conjuring.
Yeah.
And of course, behind Ed, you can see Annabelle in the case that says, "Positively, do not open."
But you can take her on a tour around the country.
Yeah, apparently,
she did.
Who was it? Zach?
Ryan Buell.
Ryan Buell.
Right.
Took her around the country.
Yeah.
The real Annabelle.
She went on a road trip.
Cool.
I guess it's time for
Trivia
Corner now.
Trivia Corner.
All right. Woo.
Trivia
Corner. The remaining members of the Hodgson family actually did visit the set, just like the parent family did visit the set of the first Conjuring.
Okay.
At least the kids did. I don't know if the mom did. But Frances O'Connor, who portrays the late mother, refused to meet them as she feared it would affect her performance.
Oh.
Because it just kind of affected her a little bit.
Yeah.
So she did not meet them. Patrick Wilson did his own singing.
Okay.
Of course. But I got this because you were talking about the screaming a lot, and so while promoting the film in June of 2016. Vera Farmiga was still suffering from a swollen lymph node she received during filming due to the intense screaming she had to perform.
Oh.
due to technical challenges, she would sometimes do 50 takes in a row of all featuring her screaming.
Jesus.
So she had a swollen throat for most of the promoting of this movie because of that.
Wow.
She's a little crazy. One of the real life allegations that wasn't featured in the movie was that the Hutchins children's toys were thrown around and were too hot to touch.
Interesting. That would have been more compelling than...
Kind of like if you would have touched the fire engine and it would have been way too hot to touch or something. I don't know. The real life events in Enfield became the longest recorded paranormal case of poltergeist activity in history, according to Vera Farmiga. That's crazy, since Lorraine felt nothing in that house.
Yeah.
It takes place 6 years after the first movie.
Oh, okay.
6 years after they did Bathsheba and The Conjuring.
Okay.
They went to Enfield.
We were talking about your favorite shot in the nun part, or you said possibly your favorite in the Conjuring movies was the nun in the office.
Yeah.
One of my
favorites, at least.
I think my favorite from any of these is the first one, when she's in the bed, when the kids are in the bed, and she says there's someone behind it. That's my favorite.
Oh, I love that scene.
Just because it's so foreboding.
Oh, yeah.
So
I love that scene.
Do you have any trivia for Trivia Corner?
I don't know. A lot of these are like so fucking long. I mean, one of them is the name of Valak is shown throughout the movie, which we did that because that one's like a big trivia. In real life, most believe that the haunting was a hoax performed by the young girls of the house, with the eldest being able to create the very deep voices for the demon. I mean, it makes sense. Like, Janet ties herself to the bed to prevent her from sleepwalking and promptly finds herself outside of the bed and walking around the house. It's possible in the Conjuring universe that Janet Hodgson can astral project, just like Josh Lambert in the Insidious movie.
Okay.
That's like, they talk about astral projection, but it's like, no, something was moving around the house. It's not astral projection.
Yeah.
Astral projection is you're sleeping and you go out of your body and you're astral projecting somewhere else.
It's not, you don't physically go.
You haven't seen Insidious, but it is all about astral projection.
Oh, okay.
And how, when you're astral projecting, because you're an empty vessel, you have to be careful because other ghosts will try to get into your body, things like that. Yeah. Yeah. It's very good.
Okay. I'll take your word for it and then watch it.
Here's the thing is that James Wan was offered a life-altering amount of money in order to direct The Fate of the Furious in 2017. Yeah. However, he turned that opportunity down to direct this movie instead. I feel rejuvenated to tell a scary story one more time. And then he ended up doing Fast 7 anyways.
That is funny, because I'm sure...
I can't remember what The Fate of the Furious one is. I think Fast 7 was actually good.
I can't
remember which one was.
He got a shitload of money.
Probably.
Yeah.
And on the first day of filming, a priest was brought in to bless the set, just in case.
Just in case.
Well, because I think the first Conjuring movie, when Vera Farmiga first got the script, she came back to her laptop, and it looked like 3 scratch marks had been put into her laptop with the script open. And then somebody had experienced something on the way to set, weird things were kind of happening. And it's like, a lot of movies have had weird cursed shit. Yeah. Like The Omen has had a bunch, so much stuff happen in The Omen, The Exorcist, everything. I don't know if it's overly paranormal or if it's really just the energy of the thing that you're doing is just kind of fucking with things.
Sometimes I could see a director fucking with the actors too and doing it.
The only thing I would say about that is for The Omen, so much random shit happened. That movie, we need to do that movie. Have you seen the original Omen?
I feel like I haven't.
It's so good.
I feel like I have.
With Gregory Peck, it's so good.
I don't think I have. I just saw the
remake is also very good, actually.
Or I saw the first Omen or whatever. I didn't see the...
Oh, the first Omen. Wait, I should show you the
I'm
first
not
Omen.
sure if I saw I feel like I saw the remake.
The remake with Julia Stiles and Liev Schreiber is very good.
I feel like I saw it.
The woman who plays I think the woman who plays the maid in the remake is actually Mia Farrow.
Oh.
Which is crazy.
So funny.
But yeah, those were good. Anyway, tangent. But these movies kind of had a little bit of the cursed movie set thing, just like Poltergeist and Omen and Exorcist and things like that. I swear it's just it's because of the energy of the thing that you're doing. It's just totally fucking with the things around you. Yeah. I mean, Poltergeist Nick, were crazy ass things.
I think there's a reason why those
happened.
happened.
Yeah, those were crazy ass things that happened. A lot of them not even paranormal. A lot of them were just literal people dying.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, there's like a few things of trivia here. Actress portraying Janet Madison Wolfe is actually an American using an English accent.
Wow.
Having grown up in New Orleans.
Oh.
Crazy. Because she definitely sounds naturally English.
Yeah, she did.
She was very good at that, man. Yeah. Oh my god.
Huh.
So maybe she was faking that fucking deep voice. This is good. And during the end credits at the part when the costume designers are mentioned, there's a split-second frame where the Annabelle doll is shown. I love it. I love it in the credits of these movies because they do. It's not just like, oh, here's the original people. They like show you the comparison of the actor with the original people and like how they looked, and like a lot of them look pretty good.
Yeah.
Some of them obviously different. Like the mom in this from Frances O'Connor. Frances O'Connor was definitely a little more of a looker than the real mom. The movie also was kind of just a bad picture of the real mom. It was a bad picture. But yeah, this one I think was very good.
Yeah,
this was very well made. I think it had a lot more. The Conjuring had them, but The Conjuring 2 really has more moments of character chemistry, levity, and funny and kind of funny moments, and campiness. Yeah. Very much campy because of the crooked man and the nun situation. Because it's like, obviously, nobody really saw that. Otherwise, this would be a whole different discussion. But I don't even know what I originally gave this when I first rated it. But, I like the first one a lot.
I think the first one is a very good movie. My problem with this one is it's like trying to create an extended universe of characters.
Yeah.
Which I don't like.
No.
And I find it kind of an insult to the audience's intelligence.
I don't even know. I don't even know if that was fully like the director's choice.
Oh no, it's marketing. It's you got to make money with these movies, so it's like, oh, you got to make like a spinoff, and you got to have this character, and you got to do this, fully, yeah.
For me, it's more.
You got to set up more movies.
Yeah, for me, it's more probably I want to say 3.5 crooked smiles.
Oh, 3.5.
Yeah.
I honestly,
because I think I gave the first one like a 4 or something.
I gave it 5. The first one. The first movie.
First movie's great.
Beautiful.
First movie's great.
Yeah. This one, honestly, I give it 3. 3 old men. 3 old British men.
3 old men who died of a hemorrhage.
Yeah, because I just feel it's. I feel like someone bastardized this script in this movie at some point and turned it into a cash grab, and I don't care for that.
Yeah.
The same reason why I don't watch Marvel movies. They're all fucking cash grabs. Like, it's just so sad.
I mean, it's true. Some of them are good.
Some of them are good. They're not like cinema. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're good.
All right, no, I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. No.
They're not like art.
I like because even as somebody who likes watching the Marvel movies and at least some of them and stuff, I agree with that. Like, it's very much. You're taking an art form and just turning it into, we're trying to make money off of this and make a bunch of things. And it's like some of those some of the filmmakers they use, like James Gunn and Edgar Wright and stuff like that, like they care about the movies. They want to make good movies, and some of them are really good.
Yeah.
But it still is like it's not just like individual movies. You're just constantly setting something up for
something else,
and for a universe and a spinoff. And it's like eventually that kind of gets old when you want to just like have a good movie.
The thing is, like, I don't blame the director because, like the actual direction of this and cinematography in many parts was just beautiful and good.
Yeah,
and you could tell he cares about the art of 100%. The movie, but I could tell that there's other people pulling the strings. Yeah, wanting to make money.
I just think if it was just the nun and Valak, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
The fact that the crooked man and all that stuff in there, it's just like, okay, now you're kind of trying to create this like weird universe and franchise and stuff, which I know you are because you want to make at least the Conjuring movies about Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yeah.
And that would be fine.
Well, it's fine.
The spin-offs weren't necessary. Some of them aren't bad, but they're not necessary.
The spin-offs aren't necessary because they have so many cases that you can just make movies about.
Even if they're stupid, even if they're ridiculous, they have so many cases. You could even remake The Haunting in Connecticut and actually make the story. I mean, I don't know if you want to see that much sexual violence from a ghost.
I mean, it would be better though than the
actual
Haunting in Connecticut.
They have so many stories and cases that you could have even dramatized more of them and come up with really good stories based off of them.
I truly hope that this is good. The
last one.
Last one.
We need to watch The Devil Made Me Do It, which is the third one. Because the new one's coming out, and then we can watch the new one.
I'm very excited for the new one.
I know it took us a while to do the second Conjuring movie, which
we got other stuff in between.
Yeah. We'll probably not wait that long again to do the third one.
You know, might be the next one we do.
The Conjuring. Maybe we'll just go through the whole universe. No, I'm just kidding.
We're not doing. Although I wouldn't mind doing like The Nun or something. At some point, because
there's we can do this at some point. That doesn't have to be a thing.
Let us know in the comments, and we'll either decide to go with what you want or ignore you. But
or if you even comment at all, even just saying hi would be nice at this point. But seriously, like, subscribe, and comment on our videos, YouTube, follow our Instagram, Horror Legend Pod, Blue Sky Horror Legend Pod. Instagram, we post like the upcoming movie, some trivia stuff, and questions about upcoming movies. Like, are you excited for whatever? I think the last one I did was, are you excited to see Mike Flanagan's Carrie series and 28 Years Later, whenever that was coming out?
Yeah.
And let us know. Like,
usually it's just me. Yeah.
Me going to my other profile and saying yes.
Or have you seen this movie? I go, no. No.
We're trying to do more stuff. We just do this for fun. So some engagement would be okay. I'm having fun.
I didn't know you were having. Okay.
We will stop when we die. But yeah, engagement would be fun.
Yeah, sure.
But if not, that's all okay too. If you just like to watch, that's fine.
Yeah. Until next time. Farewell.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Goodbye.